Hey guys, today I prepared for you a guide about how to obtain a collection, how to learn the mechanics in the game, and what to do to become a good player afterwards. As you can notice that there are four types of cards legendaries. Obviously, the rares and commons cost way less than epics and legendaries. Basically, in a rough estimate, to obtain all commons and rares you need to open about 300 kegs, which might seem like a terrifying number, but it really isn't, because this game has an insane user-friendly reward system where you gain rewards for daily quests, you get rewards for leveling up, you get rewards for rank up, and then you get rewards at the end of the season for the rank you achieve. Basically, you need to play, let's say, for like a month actively, where you fill at least 2 tiers of your daily rewards every day, and then you'll probably manage to get all the commons and the rares in the game. Therefore, if you want a full collection, you should mostly focus on crafting silver cards and gold cards, since those are cards that you won't see in kegs too often. Mostly silvers are cheaper than golds, but obviously you need some core golds for certain decks. Therefore, I recommend you to basically don't choose the card on being silver or gold just because silver is more cheaper, but choose the card that is more efficient for your deck. That same goes for the premium collection. If you actually want a full collection of premium cards, you should always craft or transmute cards that are gold or silvers. It is the most efficient way. Since we are in open beta, there will be a lot of balance changes, which basically means that every card that gets nerfed you will be able to mill it for full value. So basically it is actually more worth for you to not mill cards before the patch hits, because if you have the nerfed cards and the extra cards, you will get extra scraps for them. And it also means that you should basically mill every single card that gets nerfed and you get full value from it. Why? Well, it's quite simple, right? If, let's say, let's look at some expensive card, for example, Roach gets nerfed and you get full value from it, you disenchant it for the full value, and if you need it back, you can always craft it back for the full value, you don't lose anything, right? But in the scenario where the Roach is unplayable, then you actually gain many scraps that you do not need, because that you don't need to use on Roach, because you won't play Roach in the future. Therefore, every single card that gets nerfed should be milled by you, and afterwards you decide if it's actually still good enough to be played and if you should actually craft it back. So that goes for the... So that was it for the collection. The second part is mechanics in the game. As you notice, the mechanics in the game might seem a bit difficult. These texts are really long and it's hard to understand them. This one might be actually one of the easier ones, because there are definitely cards that have a lot more to them than the others. And basically, if you want to understand these mechanics, the best way to do it is to actually play the card. Therefore, put the card in your deck, play it against a bot, in casual, it doesn't really matter. Just play the card yourself, see what the card does, and then read the text afterwards. If you do that, you'll actually understand what the text means, and if you do that with every single mechanic, then you will finally be able to read the text and understand what the text is trying to actually tell you. It's kinda counterintuitive, but in my experience, this is the best way to do it. So, see what the card does, then read the text, and then eventually you'll be able to understand what the card does without actually playing it, just from reading the text. And the last part of this video guide, I would like to talk what to do to become a good player. Well, basically people are really confused when they go in a new game and they're not really sure what to do. You should not try to build your own decks because you're not experienced enough to actually understand what the deck needs. Therefore, you should go on some site like Reddit, for example, and try to find the most efficient decks. The most popular decks are usually efficient. They might not be the most efficient, but they are efficient. You should craft these decks, 2 of them, ideally. 2 strong decks. So right now it would, for example, be Spy Nilfgaard and let's say Ship Skellige. These 2 decks are probably most popular and efficient at the same time. And you try to play these decks, you play one. When you think you actually can play it correctly, then you play the second one. Then you try to switch them out. When you actually feel comfortable about the level of your gameplay where you can play these 2 decks, then you're finally ready to actually start building decks for yourselves. I recommend to first try to rebuild your 2 existing decks according to what you meet on ladder. Try to add some tech cards that counter certain strategies, and after you manage to tweak your decks, and if you find out they work more efficiently than they used to before you actually tweak them, then you can try to build your own deck. Then you're basically ready to become a deck builder and to increase your gameplay on ladder overall. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope this guide helped you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.